Hey, it's Learning Again with Truly Jacob, a writer. Big Thoughts for Little People by Kenneth N. Taylor. ABCs to help you grow. So last time we did letter V. Okay. And again, we are comparing scripture with scripture. So it's cheerfully share your home with those in need, a meal or a place to stay the night. 1 Peter 4:9. So they reference the Living Bible. It is a paraphrased. Let's see what it says. 1 Peter 4:9. So, cheerfully share your home with those who need a meal or a place to stay for the night. Seems like it pretty much says the same thing. Okay, again, does this book help teach Christian children moral lessons or the ABCs properly? Well, if you have an audio that tells you how to pronounce all the letters properly, then it would do that. But if you do not, then no. Because if someone has never been taught how to speak these letters properly, they're gonna just say sounds and put sounds to the letters. So W is for worship. That's giving God praise and telling our love for him all of our days. When you think about how great and good God is and how much you love him, then you are worshiping him. You can thank God and worship him at church, at home, or when you are alone. Yes, you can talk to God whenever you are. You can think about how wonderful he is because he made the trees, the grass, the stars, the sun, and the moon. And you can tell him, thank you for making you and loving you. Now, if there are living beings that have always existed before the concept of time and planets and created beings existed, yeah, I would say, yeah, those individuals deserve worship. But if people are using false words for the ones who always existed, well, those are idols or false representative figures of the ones who always existed. And idols do not deserve worship and glory and honor. And an idol, can you really talk to an idol? And do they deserve worship? No. So, the ones who always existed, but I need proof of everything. Yeah, they deserve worship and glory and praise and honor. But the different versions of the Bibles that I have access to, they're really bad. So am I going to praise and honor and give glory and worship them for, uh, because people are telling me these false religious Bibles are the truth? Absolutely not. So, in the picture, which things did God make? I don't know if God's a false representative figure of the ones who always existed. God didn't make anything. Who loves you even more than your parents do? The ones who always existed, probably in some way, but your parents, your real biological genetic parents, love you. Anyone who just claims to be your parent without scientific evidence, if they haven't treated you with love, decency, and respect, and if they have not proved to you that they are your real genetic parents, then it's like, well, people can claim to be your parents and they may not actually love you. Because there's people who are claiming to be my parents and they've never demonstrated with their words, their actions, and their behavior that they actually care or love me at all. And I'm trying to get the truth of who are my real parents, and they're like, we are, you're disrespecting us for questioning our authority. You're disrespecting us for asking for scientific evidence that we're your real parents. So it's like, okay, well, you're not willing to prove it, so you're probably not my real parents. So because your real parents would have no problems proving to you that they're your real parents. Tonight, when you go to bed, you can worship God by thanking Him for loving you and making the sun and the stars. Well, again, what do you see in the sky? Do you really see planets? Well, if you really see planets, then are they really called stars, or are they really supposed to be called planets or different worlds? You know, why are we calling different a planet a moon or the sun? Is that really the name of two different planets? I don't know. Anyways, just questions. But if you believe that in a language there are words and words have proper definitions, and that you can't just make up the meaning of a word just because you want it to mean something else, well, every word has its proper meaning. So if the sun is really a planet, if the moon is really a planet, if a star is really a planet or world, you can't just say all the worlds and all of the planets are stars, or all the planets are moons, or all the planets are the sun, you know? Because certain words mean certain things. So, yeah, so I don't know what's going on here, but is the sun really a planet? Is the moon really a planet? Is a star really a planet? Or are certain things certain shapes? How do you know? Unless you're given the proper definitions of all the words. So, there's definitely something wrong going on with this book, because it doesn't really explain, the planets versus worlds versus the name of planets and worlds. And, if the ones always existed, I would think that they would name all the planets themselves. And the exception to the rule is if they gave you the ability to create your own planet, then you have the right to name your planet. But how would you go about doing that? What name would you give your planet if you could create a planet? And it has air and water and dirt and different materials and flowers and food and different fun things and activities that you could do. What would you name your planet? And what fun activities would you want to do on that planet if you could create your own planet? Okay. All the earth shall worship you and sing of your glory. Psalm 66:4. So again, yes, if there is the ones that always existed, I'm sure those ones did not make it so everyone was born in a sinful environment. You were born in a more perfect environment where there could probably be some levels of allowance of negativity, but certain things are not allowed. So exactly what is allowed and what is not allowed, that probably has to be retaught to me on some level, because I did lose my memory, because that is the first memory that I have, is losing my memory. And so that means the people who claim to be my parents, well, if you have a memory, your first memory be of losing your memory, then the people who claim to be your parents can't be your parents. You were an orphan, or you lost your real parents somehow. So they have no right to claim to be your real parents. So at best, they could have claimed to be my foster parents or my adopted parents, and they weren't willing to do that. Anyways, so let's try to find the ladybugs. Okay, no ladybugs over there. 1 and 2. That looks like there could be, okay, 3, 4, I'm getting 4 ladybugs this time around. How many ladybugs did you see? So anyways, what are the real names for the ones who always existed? Do you know? Feel free to put that in the comment section below if you know the real names of the ones who already that always existed. For I do not think it's God. For some reason, I do not think it's Jesus. So if you believe in the ones that always existed before time and anything tangible existed, I think that's a possibility. What are their real names? So if you know, feel free to put that in the comment section below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, a disclaimer, right now I am agnostic. That means for the ones who always existed, I need proof of their existence. I probably need to see them face to face. I need to have conversations with them face to face. And I need to encounter my real parents again face to face. So whenever that happens, I hope I will be set free from wherever I truly am, but I'm definitely in a sinful, messed up world where everyone's fine talking wrong and not telling you the truth. So I'm looking for the truth, and I will eventually get the truth. I just don't know when. Anyways, do you truly love the truth? Do you like the proper words of, or the meanings, the proper definitions and meanings of words? Or do you like the messed up meanings and pronunciation of words? What is your preference? I mean, if a ball's a ball and you ask for a apple because you're hungry, do you want someone to give you a ball that you can bounce, or do you want someone to give you an apple because you're hungry and you were asking for an apple? So do you like the language being messed up, or do you like the language not being messed up? So feel free to comment in the comment section below. So hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.